All right, cool. Okay, guys, we are live. Episode 66, YWC Football Talk. I'm going to go ahead and mute Phil right now because Phil is eating. But I got Phil here. We got Nightmare Ball and Markeem Graham is here. Markeem hasn't been here since Super Bowl. We're here. We're talking football. It's Monday, February 22nd. And before, Phil, you can unmute yourself whenever you want, but I think I got to start off with the biggest news of the week so far with Carson Wentz now is an Indianapolis, not officially, it's not for another 3 weeks, but Carson Wentz, an Indianapolis Colt. I'm going to go to the Eagles fan for this one to give his thoughts. That's how I got to start this thing.
I'm happy for him because he needed a clean slate. I don't think this dude is devoid of talent like some people are acting. I just think, like, legit, he was emotionally shot there. Like, I think in many ways, same thing with Jared Goff. I don't think Jared Goff is devoid of any talent. I think Wentz is better than Goff. I think that's clear. But, like, I think that he just needed a fresh start, and I'm happy for him. I think we're the worst team in the league. But it is what it is, man. We were bad with him. You know what I mean? Going to be worse without him. It's what it is. It's fine. We're rebuilding. It's okay.
It's like a mental reset almost for him. Like he doesn't have to worry about, like, oh, if I mess up, like, the fan base is going to kill me. Because let's be honest, the Eagles is probably one of the most rabid fan bases in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
they wanted to keep, for some reason, that fool Nick Foles instead of him. And after they got rid of Foles, as they chose Wentz over Foles, the fan base never forgave them for that. And I felt like he could never recover. Like, mentally could never recover. And then the team basically fell apart after Foles left. Like, contracts expired, guys started getting hurt, guys got older. You know what I mean? It's like people will look at, well, if we would have kept Foles, it would have been fine. When really the team was deteriorating after. Like, that roster of that Super Bowl team is one of the greatest rosters in the history of the game. You know what I mean? That's why literally every facet of that team was damn near perfect. You know what I mean? But, like, that team started to fall apart after, Nick Foles left, and people will blame Wentz for that. But, like, it's really a combination of a lot of things. I'm not saying he played well because he didn't, but but it's a lot of stuff.
Markeem, he had one bad year. Like,
that's
honestly,
true.
Was it recoverable?
But this year was very bad, though, Phil.
I get that. I get that, man. But Eagles fans saying that he's like, not just Eagles fans. I've heard it from everybody, Danny included, that Carson Wentz is washed up. He's washed up. What do you want? The guy that almost
Danny again tonight?
No, he's gonna be in the comments saying he lives right in our heads, man. Don't go that route.
No, this is we already talked about it. We're gonna have a bet when he gets on here, and we'll make it official when he gets on here. I don't know exactly the details. We'll work that out, but I think Carson Wentz can win the Super Bowl with the Colts. Am I crazy, Markeem? I don't think I'm crazy.
I thought the Colts were like an explosive wide receiver quarterback combo away from literally being a threat. Like, you know what I mean? They're a really well-rounded team, which I wish Andrew Luck had when he was there. We're not gonna get into that. They're a very well-rounded team, and Wentz definitely helps that. If he can play with confidence, I feel like he could be good enough to win games. Absolutely. I wouldn't be shocked if they won it all. I wouldn't pick them, but I wouldn't be shocked. Nah.
And here's the thing. Do I think they're going to win it all? No, I think it's too early. This offseason is insane. Who knows what's going to happen? And we're just starting, right? So
6.5 months till the next season.
Because this isn't over.
No. And I think a lot of moves are still left to be made, clearly left to be made. But what I'm saying with just the Wentz in general stuff, do people forget this is the now? Granted, Markeem was talking about the roster and everything. That was a very good all together team. But Wentz almost won MVP. Almost beat Tom Brady for MVP.
Yep.
So
I honestly should have been MVP, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan.
No,
he played better than everybody that year. Everyone.
He didn't get hurt, and that's the reason why.
All right, folks. Okay, there we go. Okay, you guys are there. Sorry, guys. We were just having some technical issues. I don't know what happened on there. You got, like, your screen's kind of glitched. It's all good, though, guys. But, yeah, like, Phil, the year Tom Brady won MVP in 2017, Wentz doesn't tear his ACL. That's Wentz's award. But I think his biggest downfall was him admitting that Jalen Hurts coming in hurt him. Not like, because you know how when Garoppolo was drafted by the Pats, Brady used that to win a Super Bowl. And then you had the same thing, too, with Aaron Rodgers this year with the whole drafting Jordan Love. He didn't take it and be like, oh, I'm sad. No. Like you saw Aaron Rodgers this year use that as fuel saying, oh, hey, they want to get rid of me. And then now instead of doing all this whole pissy stuff, he fueled that to do an MVP. And I think that the Eagles expected a similar thing from Wentz, but I didn't know how much of the stuff where Wentz and Peterson weren't even on the same wavelength. Like they weren't talking at all for like 8-10 weeks at a time. It was just a damaged relationship. And then eventually, you know what? I still feel like Howie Roseman's the problem in Philly, but okay, I think everyone's here. But yeah, no, I think Howie Roseman's the problem. It's just
I think he felt like the fan base didn't want him. And then, like you said, Roseman's a very good point. And then he felt like management now doesn't want him too.
Yeah, it's we're just having some glitchy issues, guys. I don't know what's going on, but Wi-Fi's fine. I think everyone's frozen. But here's the thing, the whole it's a tricky situation. But for Wentz, it's better. For all the Eagle fans who are, I don't know, there's some Eagle fans I think the return was a little sparse, but I feel like only Ryan Pace would have given them the first round pick that they wanted instead of the guaranteed first, which more than likely that will become a first rounder unless Wentz gets hurt at some point this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look. Do I think the trade kind of shocked me that they didn't get a first. Like you said, it's either a first or they're not. Wentz is done anyway, right?
He has to play 75% of his snaps for that to become a first round pick. Either 75% of the snaps or 75% of the season, one of the two.
But the people saying that, I have heard this take, by the way, that the Colts got robbed, not the Eagles. And here's my question on that. They have a quarterback that they drafted last year that I assume they like. I mean, I assume they haven't seen enough of him that they don't like him, right? At least as a backup in Eason. So if they don't get 75% of the snaps with Wentz, maybe they get enough snaps where Eason can come in and play well. I don't know. We don't know. So I think it's worth the risk, in my opinion. I don't want to see the Colts. And Jim Irsay is going to find a way to F it up. He always does. So I don't have any faith in Irsay, but
I do want to say this though. I feel like if the Colts should bring back Jacoby Brissett though, as a just in case, like an insurance policy, almost not relying on Wentz is going to play bad or get hurt. It's just that whole break glass in case of emergency move. You don't want to be relying on Jacob Eason. No respect to Eason. I know he had some great numbers. Not great, but he was a pretty good quarterback for the Huskies. That's just my only thing is though. I think the Colts should have Brissett back. I know there's probably going to be teams interested in him, but I think if Brissett has another year as a backup, he can kind of learn a little bit more and then eventually find a home somewhere else.
Yeah, Eason should never play NFL now.
Wow, really? I just food everywhere. I didn't expect that.
I did not either.
That dude has very bad instincts.
Who did he play for?
He played for Washington.
Shout out to the best, Alex Larson.
He did. That's right.
He has a lot of a lot of high school mistakes that he makes. You know what I mean? A lot of things you see young quarterbacks do, through his whole career. I mean, so nah. Oh shit! What happened?
So here's the thing. Everything good?
Yeah, everything good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just keep going on.
Okay, I got a question.
That's why I was saying the whole Brissett thing because they don't want to rely on Eason. I think Chris Ballard's going to find a way to keep Jacoby Brissett as the backup.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think, Markeem, the Eagles have to draft a quarterback this year, or will they? Not that they have to, but will they? Or do you wait? I think you wait. If you're asking me, we lost Griff, and we're on his channel, so I don't know how that works. But
whatever. But I'll say this: I don't know who's the next prospect. You know what I mean? That's a pro, a can't miss pro. I mean, there's nobody. I think the best way to do it, I don't know how you're going to do it, is just a trade or free agency, but there's nothing to give up because you gave up. You know what I mean? You don't have anything to give. So I don't know. Right now, we're just bad. Worst team in the league type bad. Terrible. And it's okay. The next couple years, they're nothing. You know what I mean? That's fine.
But
that's just how I see them.
I mean, I think they kind of put themselves in that position, you know?
Oh yeah. There's no kind of. They definitely put.
Well,
no kind at all.
Well, I love Jalen Hurts. I just think. I mean, I hate using this term because it doesn't really mean anything, but it does in some aspect. I look at Jalen Hurts as a winner. He tried. Obviously, sometimes that isn't enough, but he just seems like he gets it done when he shouldn't get it done. Now in the NFL,
I like him. I like him as a human. I like him
right.
as a
maybe
yeah. I'm rooting for him, but like I know he's not that good. I know he's not that good. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's the more realist way.
I'm definitely rooting for him. Absolutely, he plays for my team. He's our quarterback. I'm rooting for him, but
yeah, I mean, I think
know he's not good.
There he goes. Griff's back. I think Griff's having some issues. You're good.
Yeah, I was having some technical issues. I'm back on. And apparently we're missing a great Nia Jazz match on Raw. I'm going to assume that is that Chris's lazy booking, or I'm trying to figure that out.
No, that's a random Chris.
You said who?
That's Chris said that in the comments.
Right there. I have the ability. It's a really cool ability. I just learned with StreamYard. I would rather. There's many things I'd rather do than Raw. And talking
there is no way Nia Jax is having a great match right now. I do not believe you.
I don't believe that either.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, hopefully we have I think my internet was spotty. I was in another room. I just moved rooms quickly, and then now we're back up and set. But so what did I miss exactly? What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about the prospect of Hurts actually starting.
You know what? I think if the Eagles are going to draft Markeem, I don't think it should be at 6. Go out and if Devontae Smith's there, get Devontae Smith. If the Eagles are going to draft a quarterback, do it later on, like a Davis Mills or like a Felipe Franks or a Sam Ellinger. Someone who could be a project.
Oh my god!
Here's
me. That's me. Do you want?
No, you're right, but that's.
Here's another thing too.
Felipe Franks could actually play fucking snaps for my Eagles. He could actually play for my Eagles. That's crazy to think about.
You don't think he's an NFL starter? I don't think
any of them. I don't think any of them outside of
Lawrence,
Fields, and Zach Wilson could ever play a game. And a meaningful game. And I don't think any of these guys are that good.
I think Wilson and Fields could get there. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think they could be solid NFL players.
And in the right scheme, honestly, we've talked about the Falcons. I think Griff mentioned it at one point, drafting Wilson or drafting Fields as a backup and behind Matt Ryan. I think maybe
that dumb shit that Dan Orlovsky put on Twitter earlier.
Which one was that? I've seen some stuff, but
that dumb shit where he was like, everything that they're saying about Zach Wilson, they said about Sam Darnold.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm like, wait, what? They're not even
the
type of quarterback. I didn't understand that.
I think why Jets are smart. They go for Wilson. That's just me.
You can't pay attention to what these fucking talking heads say, because the only reason why fucking Sam Darnold got drafted so high was the intangible off the field stuff. He was on he was at a level of zen where he never seemed rattled. But his numbers, and he was never that consistent. But everyone thought maybe he'd get coached into being more consistent. You know what I mean? Zach Wilson his arm talent is leaps and bounds beyond anything Sam Darnold ever had. You know what I mean? It's not even close. I can't believe he said. I could not believe I read that. I was like, what are you talking about, man? No one said that at all. No one ever said that.
Markeem, you see this?
I'm still here, guys. Phil's point is CC.
That's all I'm going to say about Zach Wilson. I'm done.
Yeah, I know. I think we talked about this last week when you were on.
It was one game.
Last week was it 2 weeks? I'm trying to remember when you were on.
Yeah. Oh, Markeem. Griffiths.
Yeah, he keeps freezing.
Griffiths freezing again. He's having internet issues, so I'll keep going. All right, look. I trolled Zach Wilson all the way. I'll go ahead and talk about that. But you good?
Give me one.
All right, you're good. I'll keep going. No, so I just troll because Zach Wilson played. I mean, I can't remember who they played in the bowl game, but
I'm just gonna hotspot it.
But he played in one.
You got me?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, and everyone's gone. Guys, this is a horrible recording. I apologize. This is also not the best live stream in the world. Look, it's like I said before, my internet connection just sucks right now. I don't know what it is. My internet hates me. It hates me. I'm doing audio on GarageBand and I'm doing a live stream at the same time. Multitasking priorities. So let's hope I can get them on there. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on, but yeah. So there's just what.
What happened?
He was like, all right, take over the show. All right, listen. Back to Zach Wilson real quick. He played one meaningful game. That's all I want to say.
I think the thing that makes me more positive about him is that every year there was like some sort of progression with him. So like where he went from like the year before to last year, and it was a huge leap. You know what I mean? And that's usually a good sign.
One thing I will say, even though we did, we rattled him a lot in that game, he came within a 1 yard of winning it. So I'll give him props for that.
That dude is good. I just don't think he's like none of these dudes are like.
I just don't think he's big enough, Markeem. Like these small quarterbacks don't like name a small quarterback that's able to make Russell Wilson. Maybe is the only one.
Lamar Jackson ain't that big. You know what I mean? Kyler Murray's
Lamar Jackson's a freak though. Like there's just no like he. I don't know.
I'm just saying there's ways to win, man. Drew Brees was small. You know what I mean? There's ways to get it done.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Yeah. I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to. I guess I just look. I don't hate Zach Wilson. I just hate him for a top 5 pick.
You know what? I think the Jets.
I hate all these dudes minus Lawrence.
Right. So I guess we're on the same page.
Yeah. But the bigger question with this draft, though, and also too, I do agree. The only reason why I say the Falcons thing is just because look, they're in cap hell, and I think that this year, you know what, you do a redshirt year with a quarterback. Then next year you get rid of Matt Ryan. Then you get rid of Julio. You build around like your new quarterback and Calvin Ridley. I was talking to Markeem about this off camera, but the Carolina Panthers are a team that's just intrigues the hell out of me. Like they keep like letting go of all this cap room, all this other stuff. Like, man, like the NFC South as a whole. Like I was listening to Pro Football Talk today with Florio and Sims, and they were talking about the NFC South, how pretty much outside of the Falcons, like it has a lot of potential to be a very good division. Because like I don't think the Saints are going to lie down dead. Like even though they do have their cap problems, I think they'll get by them. And I'm interested to see who the Bucs can bring back from this team. Because I know, Phil, you had that hot take of J.J. Watt's going to go to the Bucs. They got a lot of internal pieces they got to lock up first before they consider him.
They do. I think Godwin's gone. I don't. I mean, unless he doesn't want money. I mean, if he just wants to come back and play for Brady. But I mean, he's young. I don't see him doing that yet.
There's two other names I want to give to you who I think are gone. I wouldn't be shocked if Fournette leaves, and I think Levante David may go. Because I think they're going to prioritize Shaq Barrett over David, which is silly because I think Levante David's and Devin – and also, too, because here's the other thing. They got to think about their long term, and Devin White's due to get paid next offseason, and he's going to probably be the top paid linebacker in the NFL.
I think you pay Levante David.
I got a hot take about J.J. Watt. I think the all-pro days of that guy are done. I think that he would just be solid now. I think best player in the league – dominant, change your whole team.
Isn't that already gone though? That was already.
But I'm saying I'm saying that's like because a lot of people's like, well, it's because he was stuck in Houston. Nah, man, that's done. This is out.
Or
he'll never be that guy again.
Or he didn't care, Markeem. I mean, that's hard to say.
That's what I hear people saying, but I think he's done.
You've seen Clowney do that before.
But you know what though? I don't think like everyone says like Watt's done. I don't think he's like done. Like yeah, I agree with Markeem in the sense of I don't think he's all pro anymore, but he still has potential to be that that F the play up kind of guy, like that guy who's just going to get in your face and do that. Like,
see, I don't even think so.
Wait, okay, so where do you think
he's a body now? I don't know.
I got my team.
Who has? I know people are saying Cleveland. I know that's the name I keep hearing.
That's where I think this guy goes.
I mean, yeah, I can see that, but like it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool if he ended up in Pittsburgh. That'd be cool.
I think so too. It's just their cap situation, and also too.
I know.
they gotta get that Ben shit figured out first. Like Kevin Colbert came out last week and had that weird press conference where it was like, yeah, like we want to get it done, but we don't. Like for Ben, I think Ben's like Eli. Either he's a Steeler or he retires. I don't think he goes anywhere else, especially this late in his career.
You think they could sucker him? Do you think they could sucker somebody into trading for him?
Who, Ben?
Yeah.
Maybe the Broncos because they like to bring in quarterbacks. Because if you guys know me by now, I don't like Drew Lock at all. I think Drew Lock's done with the Broncos after this year.
Well, yeah, because he's terrible.
Yeah. I also have my crazy hot take that Elway purposely brings in, besides Peyton, obviously, that Elway just brings in mediocre quarterbacks, so he'll always be known as the greatest quarterback in Bronco history.
You know what?
You're not wrong. You might not be wrong on that.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I think J.J. Watt goes to the Steelers or the Packers. That just seems.
Browns or Packers are my two.
So I just think that's my pick. I just don't. I mean, he lives in Wisconsin, went to Wisconsin, so. Makes
exactly.
sense.
Like I would like to see Pittsburgh
late in his career. He could win with those two teams. He could win a Super Bowl with those two teams. Well, I don't know about Pittsburgh, but
that's the thing. That's why I don't know about Pittsburgh. I think he's going to want to go somewhere where he can win a ring in the next year or two, or at least have a chance to get there. Remember, he's never been to the conference finals.
And people have said Pats, but like we're gonna have to do a lot for him to be like, oh yeah, I want to go there now.
We've got a lot of That's one thing, Phil. I know Markeem probably doesn't, but the Pats have a lot of internal signings they got to get done first. They got a lot of internal stuff.
Maybe JJ Watt's like, I want to play for the dude who used to whoop my ass all the time.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, they used to kill the Texans. Yeah. I mean, just kill them.
Well, they had that dumb game in 2012 where they showed. I don't know if you probably remember this. The game Monday Night Football. The Texans showed up in those dumb varsity jackets and they got their asses kicked on Monday Night Football.
I remember that.
I do.
Yeah. I remember like Connor Barwin and someone else they were doing like that side by side, and I'm like, these guys look like idiots. I think it was like 42-14 was the score. I just remember Patriots came out and just stomped them. Texans have never won Gillette Stadium. That's a fun fact.
We picked on the kid about that.
What?
Remember that film we picked on the kid about that when that happened?
Yeah. I think I remember. That's funny.
Yeah.
He was so adamant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's also one thing I want to mention quickly on this podcast too, and I forgot to mention it last week, but I just wanted to send my condolences out to the family of Vincent Jackson. Very sad, passing away only at the age of, I believe, 38 due to, I think it was like some form of alcoholism or something to do with alcohol, but just wanted to get that in quickly. Just quick thoughts and prayers to his family, man. That's another great receiver that never got a chance to play for a championship. Man, that 06 Chargers team, if it weren't for that dropped interception, they probably would have won the Super Bowl that year. Because that Chargers team played the Colts very well, and I'm pretty sure they would have beaten the Bears in 06 if they got past.
Was that the year when Phillip Rivers was playing on one leg? Was that the year?
I don't know. That was the first year where Drew Brees was in New Orleans, though.
Remember that year with he fucked his leg? I think he tore his ACL or some shit. He was trying to play through it, something like that.
I think it was 2000. I think maybe that was a couple years after that, like 2007 or 2008.
Okay, yeah, you might be right. Right.
No, because that year I'm thinking it was a year where LT was just had one of the greatest fantasy years of all time. Antonio Gates was a great tight end. Then they also had Vincent Jackson too and Phillip Rivers. It's just they played the Patriots in the divisional round, and as we know, Phillip Rivers could never get past New England. There's so many people that's why you can't take New England for granted because of how many great players they prevented from winning. It's kind of like the whole, I don't want to say Jordan effect, but there's just certain effects of how certain guys didn't get certain things because of certain people. That's all.
Yeah, it was 2008.
Okay. Yeah, because I know 2007, the Chargers and the Patriots played to go to the Super Bowl. As Phil chugs his Coke. Is that a Coke, Phil, or?
It's root beer.
AEW. Root beer. Okay.
A&W. Whatever. AEW root beer. They apparently have their own root beer.
I know AEW, man.
It's all elite root beer.
But
really?
Yeah, that was just one thing I wanted to say too, Phil. And then also, we actually have a new father in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, now a dad. His fiance gave birth, I think, Saturday.
Wow. So did he just come right out, or did they block for him?
That's hilarious.
That was a good one. I'll give you that. That was a good one. What else? So let's see. What else?
I felt so bad for that dude. So bad for him.
All right, so here, I said this before, but I'll say it again. I watched that game, obviously wanting Brady to win, and it didn't help that my dad was so adamant against the Chiefs for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, obviously he likes Brady because I like Brady, but still, I was like, Dad, that's not a penalty, and anyways, quickly I was wanting to enjoy the game, and then when it's okay, this is about to be a rout, well, so much for that. It just wasn't it's call me when it ends. I watched
it wasn't fun watching him run for his life. It was just kind of sad, man. I was like, come on, my God, somebody hold. I don't care, holding penalties. I don't care. Somebody stop. It was bad, man. Somebody grab someone, man.
And it's even worse. It's even worse have you watched the mic'd up edition yet?
No.
It's even worse. Mahomes is on the sidelines, just trying to show, you could tell he's trying to care, trying to act like it matters, and it's bro, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, there's a thing though. I love how everyone blames the offensive line. Like, obviously, he did the best that he could, but like, do you guys remember 5 years ago when Cam had the same incident against the Broncos where he was just running for his life and everyone's like, oh, Cam didn't do this, Cam didn't do that? It just seems kind of like weird how Cam got all the blame for that, and then here Mahomes doesn't get any blame. It's always
that. But that's,
like, you know what
not
I mean?
a conversation with that. But yes, you're absolutely. Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, like I'm not here trying to be like, oh, anti-Mahomes or anything. Like, he's a great quarterback, great player. It's just I feel like everyone was just trying to protect him and make it seem like, oh, it's not his fault. Oh, he just did this. Meanwhile, a lot of those plays, look, straight up said the defense just got to him and you ruin his day like that and you take away his weapons, you're gonna beat him.
All right. There's a big reason why they were quick to point that out with Cam, but it's not a conversation I want to have on this show.
Oh, I know. That was the reason why with Cam too in that game that I didn't like was the fact that he actually admitted to not going for the ball in that one fumble because he didn't want to get hurt. That's where I was just like, dude, you're playing for the Super Bowl. You go and try to get that ball.
No, I agree with you.
I think Cam regrets that, though. I mean, he may never come out and say that, but I think Cam looks back and says, well, I got hurt anyway, so I should have done it.
Exactly. Like,
it's easy to do that in hindsight, though.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's easy to do that in hindsight.
Right. He should have done it anyway and said, look, you could get hurt on any play.
It was like Sean McDermott coming out and saying, yeah, we were playing safe in the AFC Championship game. There's just certain things, you kind of just – you keep hush-hush. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean – you can say whatever the heck you want to say. You can say that balls are deflated. You got your butt whipped. You got your butt whipped. But whatever.
I will always defend the argument that when they were properly inflated, they outscored the Colts 31-0. That's my take.
I'm not deflate. I could say it anyways.
I can do
I'll say one word on that, and we'll move on. Science. Okay. What's the next topic?
I actually think Deflategate is easily explained.
Yeah.
They just happened to have the practice footballs and didn't have the game balls. And then at halftime, they realized it. That's what I think happened. That's all that happened. Yeah. That's literally all that happened, man.
And Goodell, I still say Deflategate was Goodell's loaded gun that he needed to let everybody forget about the Ray Rice. Because if you don't remember, he was getting a lot of scrutiny for Ray Rice. A lot of scrutiny for Ray Rice. And then all of that went away over deflated footballs. Like, you cannot tell me that was the case. Call me a homer all you want. That's the truth. It's just
that's a good point.
It's a good point though. But like, even still, like, domestic violence is one of those issues in the NFL that like it's still that big elephant in the room that the league doesn't want to address. Like they say like the whole Chad Wheeler stuff and everything, but like look at guys like Tyreek Hill. Like Tyreek Hill got away with even child abuse, and he's still in the league.
Chad Wheeler's not running 90-yard touchdowns like Tyreek Hill.
I know. I'm just saying that, look, certain people get certain stuff. Like, look, Ray Rice was kind of on the down part of his career when that happened. Like, if he was a prominent superstar, a lot of the time that shit gets swept under the rug, which is very unfortunate because Tyreek Hill's had multiple cases too. Like, even – do you guys remember the Javon Belcher incident? Like, they just went on life as normal, even though he shot himself in front of Romeo Cornell and I think the general manager at the time. I'm trying to remember don't remember who it was exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, the Belcher thing's a very dark conversation, but it's like at the same time too, it was really messed up. Like, he killed his girlfriend and then he drove himself to the team facility and then he just shot himself in the parking lot. Yeah, to go dark route. Let's bring it back to happy thoughts. I want to ask you guys a question. Who do you think has an easier route to get back to the Super Bowl next year? Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
Easier route?
Yeah.
Neither? How about neither?
I was going to say neither because the AFC looks like it could potentially be even stronger, and the NFC
kind of looks the same way.
I mean, I think it depends on who's the Saints quarterback because, like, obviously the Saints, they had to go through the Saints, they had to go through the Packers, they had to go through the Redskins. I think all three of those teams have potential to be better.
No. Right? They went through the Washington football team.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. Thank you for the correction. The Washington football team. They did not go through the name I will not say again. But yeah, so like I think all those teams could be better. And then you got teams like the Rams. Does Stafford make them even better? I think they do. It does. They got to give him an offensive line because that was Jared Goff's problem. But not his only problem. But yes, I mean, I think I don't think either one has the easier. I mean, honestly, if I had to pick if I had to pick who has a harder route,
who's it harder? How about that? Who's a harder route to get back to the Super Bowl?
The Bucs have it harder, and the only reason I'm saying that is, well, you can make case for both of these because The Chiefs just won back-to-back. But I would say the Bucs because at least winning back-to-back. Now, if you're going just to get there, then, I think they're even. But to win back-to-back, clearly we saw the Chiefs struggle. It just doesn't seem that like the teams are able to get the back-to-back wins. The Broncos weren't able to do it, which the Broncos weren't back-to-back. But the Chiefs, the Seattle wasn't able to do it recently. It's just not – it's just you have the whole deck stacked against you.
Now, Phil, the Broncos never played in back-to-back. They made it in 13, got their butts whooped by Seattle, and then 2 years later they beat Carolina.
And you know what? I think to get there, the easier time, I'm gonna say the Bucs, just because like the Bills could be like really dangerous next year. It could be like legit better than the Chiefs next year, baby.
Right.
Lamar Jackson is still coming along. He's a phenom. There's a lot of teams in the AFC that will probably just get better. The Browns. I talk a lot of shit about Baker Mayfield, but that team will probably be better next year.
It just depends on who they add.
I know the kid will like this, but the Dolphins, if they get in, they'll be a tough out for anybody. If y'all get a quarterback and change some other shit,
and get some weapons, and Hightower comes back.
Like if you think about it this way, at least with the Bucs, like you could argue maybe the Saints were the third or second best team, and their quarterback's gone. Like Drew Brees is about to retire. I'm just saying,
allegedly.
He gave money back, though. I think at this point, it's more the less like a badly kept secret that Drew Brees is retiring. Like we're just waiting on Sean Payton now or the Saints just to say, "Hey, we're holding a press conference." Like as soon as that note comes down,
why do you wait?
What?
Here's my answer. Why do you wait?
Because I think he might still be thinking about it.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's exactly what my point was. I don't think he.
But he knows he should. That's what I think he knows he should, but he's still thinking.
You think it has to happen before March 17th, which is when free agency starts? I think
exactly. But then again, like,
right? Do you think? Yeah. I'm asking. Do you think it has to?
And I want to see him go because he looked like he was done, and he's just gonna look worse.
Yeah.
I don't want to like. I was talking to Phil about this, man. The longer these fools play, the worse the fall will be. Like, look at Peyton Manning went from MVP level to worst quarterback in the league. I don't want
to being worse than Brock Osweiler at the time.
At the time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
he did play better down the stretch, but
I don't want to see that happen to Drew Brees. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see him going out on top, hugging Papa John after he wins his second Super Bowl?
Well, no, I don't want to see him play that bad, though.
But that's not going to happen. Like, if he can't do it in New Orleans, it's not going to happen. Like, Brady left New England, went to Tampa Bay, and it was able to get it done. Like, Drew Brees, where's he going to – is he going to go somewhere else? Who else has Kamara and Michael Thomas and Jared Cook for a tight end? And, it's like that's available.
I don't want to see him just stink it up, though, man. Just like, and I know, like, people think I hate Tom Brady, and I don't, but I don't want to see that happen to him either. I want him to get out before that happens, man. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't enjoy seeing like all-time great struggle. Like Kobe Bryant's last year in the NBA was so rough, man. Seeing him just be that bad.
How was Montana with the Chiefs?
Montana was terrible too. Terrible.
He was?
That last year, awful.
Yes. Okay.
There's no example, with the exception of maybe John Elway, who was a significant step down, but still pretty good. There's no example of like
down conversions in Super Bowl history.
Yeah. Like there's no example of like all-time great.
Didn't he retire after that win though?
Yeah,
right after.
Yeah, he won.
He got out because he was like, I don't want to embarrass myself. Absolutely, I get it. Like Dan Marino is probably the worst. Where like it was so quick and just bad. You know what I mean? He's probably the worst.
I want to say something. This is going to come off as very dark, but it almost seems kind of like when you talk about all these old guys, it's like when your dog is slowly going down that bad route of your dog is just like very sick, it's like kind of the last days and stuff, and like you don't want to see it suffer anymore. Like I feel like it's a similar thing with all these like when players get older and stuff. Like, look, you enjoyed it while the time was here, but you know that it's time to go. Like I think for Drew, especially the way that he played in that divisional game, it's better to go out on top than try to come back and be who you're not and then make those mistakes, because then everyone's going to go, oh, why didn't you retire last year? Like, more than likely, I think even though the way he went out is not exactly the best, he did something that no one's been able to do, and that's bring a relevant team to New Orleans. Because, like how we talk about all the time, like how Clemson
the Aints. I grew up, they were the Aints.
The Aints.
Exactly. Like, Markeem, you know how you guys always talked about, oh, Clemson was never like this hotshot program? The Saints were one of the worst teams in NFL history before Drew Brees got there. I think they only made the playoffs like 5 times in like 40 years.
Yep.
So, like, look, what I'm trying to get at is with him retiring, there's no bad notes that he's leaving on. Like, there's no like bad way to go out. Look, he's a favorite son of that city for life. Like, I don't know if Markeem, you've been. Phil and I have been to New Orleans. Like, it's just a different vibe down there. And, like, he can go in anywhere and he'll be respected there for the rest of his life. His number 9, 100% is going to get retired by the team. So I just think it's the right time to go out. Like, look, even last year, too, when he had to go to Hawaii and then he posted that weird photo from the mountaintops. It was like, hey, I'm coming back. Like, I think we would have seen that by now, though, if he were coming back.
Yep. I mean, I mean, I don't think, like, here's the thing. If he wanted to come back and New Orleans is just like, sorry, like, it convinces him, but I don't think he plays for anyone. I think he ends up deciding, well, they don't want me back, so I guess that's the end.
And I also think he'll decide before training camp, like somebody we know that I won't get into. Fucking Brett Favre.
Oh,
Deuce Canoe. I hate Brett Favre. I'm sorry. He's probably the most hated quarterback of all time for me. I hate him because he's just a horrible human being.
Even the same thing with him too, though. I'm trying to remember. He played the 2010 season, right?
2010.
Yeah, that was the last year, I think.
Exactly. Like, don't you think he should have gone out in 2009 then?
He should have went out when he said he was going to retire.
Yeah,
let's go like that. The first time. Whatever year that was, he started playing for the Jets. What year was that? Was that 07? You might be right. Then it's 07.
08, one of the two.
I don't know, but God, I hate that dude. We're not going to do this right now. All
right, let's move on. We got a question actually from YWC Football Talk's biggest fan, Randy Oscar. Phil, I'm going to let you answer this one first.
Who are the Patriots getting for a quarterback? Man, that's the question for Pats fans, right? And even non-Pats fans are like, what are they going to do? I said this in a tweet, and I said to tune into the show to listen to why I say this. But obviously, dream scenarios out the window, like your Watsons and things like that. I think it's either Jimmy G, and I don't even know if the Niners want to trade him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, apparently, I can't imagine that call hasn't been made yet. And then I think Cam coming back. I mean, with weapons and stuff, I still stand by that Cam could win in this on this team, even though his arm did show some issues late in the year. But like, I just think with a whole offseason, no COVID, and weapons, you got to get him weapons, whatever those weapons are, at least better weapons, anyways. I think that's a 10-6, maybe even an 11-5 team with him. But that's just my personal opinion. But
here we go.
But yeah, I think that I don't know what they're gonna do because I have heard rumors. I don't know if they're true. Griff, I think, was the one that I saw. Well, I saw it from other tweets as well. But that they have tried every trade. So I assume every trade so far has been too high. Maybe I'm assuming right now. But let me say this: the draft, if anything, has proven the Texans are a good example of this. The draft, or right before the draft, is going to say all of it, right? March 17th obviously will be a big day, and that'll start stuff. But where's the market going into the draft, and then what are teams doing? So once Lawrence comes off the board, okay, well, what are the Jets going to do? If the Jets are still there, are they trading down, or is Carolina? Carolina seems to be going all in on trying to get Watson, and if they don't get Watson, are they going to go all in on another guy? Or are they going to draft a guy? I don't know. I just don't think drafting is what Carolina is going to do at this point. If they're giving all, I mean, I feel like if Carolina's going to draft a guy, it's got to be like to succeed underneath whoever they're going after. I don't know. I think the Pats. I don't know. There's a lot of answers to that question. I think Jimmy G is definitely the number one obvious answer, but I don't know what the Niners are going to do. I don't know if the Niners are trying to get Watson first, but they don't know if they're going to get Watson.
There was a very weird trade that I saw that with a 3-team trade between the Texans, the Niners, and the Vikings that Peter King did, where Watson ends up in Minnesota, Cousins ends up in San Francisco, and Garoppolo ends up in Houston.
That would be crazy.
I told people before, I said, hey, the Vikings could be a team to watch out for when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I got laughed at for that.
Yeah. So, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's.
But here's the whole thing, though. Like the Watson thing. Big Rat said it on here before. I think if it does not happen before the draft, it will not happen.
I don't either, because have you heard what they want? So the Panthers, allegedly, the last trade that I heard, I haven't heard anything new yet. I heard the Miami trade, and then I heard, which was ridiculous, and then I also heard the just started the team. The Panthers trade would be like 3 firsts and CMC, and then a couple other defensive players, I believe.
That trade makes no sense to me to get rid of Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, we go quarterback over running back.
I actually think it's smart. It's a hard decision to make for an organization, and I get it. CMC is everything on their offense, so you're going all in, changing your offense now. But
all right, what I missed, I'll sidetrack.
Okay, so we're talking about what teams are having to give up for like Watson, and Carolina's apparently would have to give up CMC, and he just mentioned he doesn't understand why they would do that. And I'm telling you, because Mike Davis, my boy, former Gamecock, for those that don't know, Mike Davis balled out without CMC being there. So in their mind, they now have proof of a running back they don't have to pay that much. So maybe they think they can get rid of CMC, and CMC would die in Houston. Who else is?
Phil, I feel you, but like the level, man,
I get that.
McCaffrey is like,
I know, I get that. But I think they think if they bring in a quarterback that played in South Carolina, obviously the stadium's in North Carolina, but they played in South Carolina. It's a Carolina guy. He went to Clemson, but I'm saying Carolina.
They're building a training facility in South Carolina, by the way.
He could bring a lot of tickets. CMC, not saying CMC doesn't sell tickets, but I don't know. Like I
hear you, man. I don't know.
And here's the question: do the Panthers win a Super Bowl because of CMC, or do they win a Super Bowl because of Watson? I think the easier answer is definitely because of Watson.
Oh, 100%. I think the Panthers should do, because, like, look, I just don't understand how you're going to get rid of so much guaranteed money with Bridgewater, because here's the other thing, too, with the whole trade. The reason why they're getting rid of J.J. Watt is also to be, not only is it a move to move on from someone because they're rebuilding, it was also a cap dump of $16.5 million. You trade for Christian McCaffrey, you're taking on $1 million more. So you're gaining back what you're losing by cutting Watt, and then you're adding $1 million on.
Pretty good at this.
What'd you say?
I say you're pretty good at this, Griff. You're not bad at this.
I try. Listen, man, I learn everything I know from Mike Florio. What can I say? But because that's the thing. Like, when I'm looking at the Texans, who are a cash-strapped team when it comes to the salary cap, that's where that trade doesn't make sense to me. So I think the logical – and also, too, I think David Tepper is just short-tempered and is like, I need to win now. When in reality, you know what? You also have Bridgewater under a lot of guaranteed money. Draft Trey Lance at 8, or even move up to get him. Have Trey Lance go behind Teddy, and then eventually, you know what? Maybe next year move on from Teddy, and then Trey Lance is your starter. That's what I think the Carolina Panthers should do.
I think if I'm the Texans, I don't even know why you want CMC. I'll just get draft capital.
Exactly, but
I would get
in return, though, that whole tit for tat thing.
I know, but you get 3 picks, get 4 picks, whatever you got. You trade 3 firsts, 3 seconds, you get everything in picks, and then you trade. You just trade to get picks. Like, you just add picks up. So, if you're the Texans, I think CMC, it's not really. I don't understand. If I'm the Panthers, I'm like, why do you need him?
Exactly. Like the Panthers, like David Tepper wants this franchise quarterback. Like, that's his thing. He wants, because remember, David Tepper comes from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was a minority owner with the Rooney family there, and then eventually bought into the. He's only been there for like a year and a half or so.
Right.
So it's just him trying to aggressively win. I just put this message up quickly, just because I've never gotten that before. From Miss Sella Martinez, and then let's move away from the Panthers talk. Let's talk about this greatest football player of all time.
Markeem,
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice?
Yeah. Jerry Rice or Jim Brown.
I was gonna say Jim Brown, Walton Payton,
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I don't think. See, oh god, here's the hot take. I don't think Walter Payton is a top 3 running back ever. I don't think he is.
He's top 5.
Is he though? Like, look, okay, he's not better than Jim Brown. I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah, I saw Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith second, or would you have someone else there?
I think we all can agree Barry Sanders is clearly better than him. We all can agree on that. here's where it gets dicey, right? If you want to put him at 3, fine. But I would put Emmett ahead of him solely because Emmett was dominant for longer. You know what I mean? Like Walter Payton was very good for a long time, but Emmett was like dominant for like 7 years. You know
Arizona Cardinal Emmitt Smith, by the way.
Well, I wouldn't call him dominant, but like from like 91 to like 2000, Emmett was dominant. You know what I mean? So I can't in good conscience put him ahead of Emmett.
Wide receiver question for you: would you have Michael Irvin top 5 all time?
No, hell no.
Okay.
It was Rice, Moss, Owens, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Who else is better than him? Torrey Holt is better than him. Steve Largent is better than him. We could do this for a while, man. We could do this for a while. Like he's Chris Carter is better than him.
Markeem.
Megatron is better than him.
Markeem, how much?
Antonio Brown. Hold on, I'm not done, Phil. Antonio Brown's better than him.
Oh, don't bring that in here.
I don't know, but you get the point. He's top 20, man. He's not.
I just wanted to ask. That's all. I like this question from Miss. I'm butchering. I'm pretty sure it's a
Maciel.
I think it's Maciel. Yeah.
Maciel. I like questions like this. Keep on coming because like even too, we could talk about this all the time. Like Markeem and I were talking about this off air. We were saying like how our top tight ends are like Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, Kellen Winslow, Antonio Gates, Shannon Sharp. Mike Ditka's even up there?
Mike Ditka.
My thing with tight ends, though, is it's true. But you could do this with a lot of things, a lot of players and positions. But tight ends is like almost 2 different eras. Like Gronk and Kelsey and Kittle, like those guys are like a new era.
But here's why I put Gronk ahead of everyone. Because like Gronk, in addition to being probably the greatest receiving tight end of all time, I don't even think that's debatable. If you talk about just like being a pure blocker, he's top 3 at that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like,
in fact, that's what he was for the Bucks all year.
Yeah,
he's
he's incredible. Yeah. That's why he's number 1 to me.
And Gronk just changes your offense. Like the pass without Gronk, I mean Brady suffered big time without him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just different.
Gronk is to me is like he's like the clear number 1. I know the sample size isn't as big as like let's say Gonzalez. But like Gronk at his best, man. I've never seen anything like that.
I think Gonzalez was just so like I don't even know what the word to use. Like Gonzalez was just so like
he was very good for a really long time.
Yeah, very good for
a long time. Yeah. There was a time like early 2000s where he was like scary, like best offensive player maybe in the league. You know what I mean? He was fucking scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's just like that period of time was not as long as Gronk's dominance, in my opinion. Because Gronk was injured a lot, but he still was dominant in way less games. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy. Like the gap is just crazy. And I feel like after that, you got guys like Gates and Shannon Sharp and Kellen Winslow that you can throw in there. You know what I mean? But I feel like those 2 clearly the top 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and one thing I was gonna say, Markeem, was would you call me crazy if I said Randy Moss is better than Jerry Rice?
You call me? You're insane. Randy Moss would tell you that Jerry Rice. Dude, let me put it in perspective for you.
I saw more of Randy Moss than Jerry Rice, so it's not really fair.
If there was a receiver,
I just take the L on that one.
If there was a receiver that had 1,000 yards, just 1,000 yards for 20 years, right? They'd still be behind Jerry Rice.
That's crazy, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just...
Here's the thing that I'm gonna say about Jerry Rice. It must be nice that you've played behind 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Look. I love Joe Montana. I love exactly. That's what I was about to get to that. I love Joe Montana, but like Joe Montana at the end of that 49ers run, like when he was on his way out, he was not the thrower he was at the beginning of that run. Jerry Rice is the reason why people thought he was still the best quarterback in the league. He turned him into that. You know, Jerry Rice had 22 touchdowns in 7 games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he turned him into that. Like Steve Young, same shit. Like Steve Young without Jerry Rice. And there's like sample size of this. When Jerry was hurt, he'd have his worst games of his career. You know what I mean? Because he was special, man. He's special. Special, man.
I got you.
There's a tight end.
Moss is definitely second. greatest deep threat to ever play.
I guess that's my thing. Yeah, I guess he's more of the deep threat guy.
I have a controversial tight end take that I want to give, and that is that I believe I'm not saying he's one of the best of all time, but I think that if it weren't for the stuff that he did off the field, Aaron Hernandez could have been a very good tight end in the NFL.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. If Aaron Hernandez wouldn't have fucked his life up, he had a chance to be better than Gronkowski. He was in better shape. He was a better route runner. You know what I mean? And his hands were better. Yeah. Like he could have, in terms of raw numbers, if he would have stayed with the Patriots, they would have got rid of Gronk and kept him. I really believe that.
He signed a big extension after the 2012 year, though. That's the other thing, too.
Phil, he was on his way to being that good. That dude was really good.
I'm not going to deny that part.
Yeah. Like, obviously, we don't get too much.
It's just hard to imagine.
Right.
It's hard to imagine a world where, like, they choose Hernandez over Gronk.
But, like,
in the early days, though, it looked like he was better. You know what I mean?
He didn't never block like Gronk did, though.
That's fine. You can replace that. That's okay.
Right.
He was the guy that caught the passes, though. He was Aaron Hernandez was that. I want to see I need to see like an in behind the scenes of that Florida team from like 2008 of like him, Tebow, Riley Cooper.
Markeem, do you think? This is another podcast later, but like we'll analyze a little bit more later. But is Pitts? Where would you put Pitts as like potential for going into the league? I don't like that. That's my answer right there.
All right. When we do our draft video or podcast or whatever, because I'll be here, Griff. You don't even have to ask. I'll be here.
I'll be live on YouTube, by the way, folks.
I have I have a lot to say about him and a few other people. Okay. A lot to say.
Okay.
Just feel like that.
We'll save it.
You want to get into it here?
We'll save it.
So I'm just going to say something quickly, guys. So what Markeem is referring to is I'm going to get some of our most notable guests, who not only love the NFL but have a passion for college football. We're going to be here sometime late April, and we're going to do a fantasy-style NFL draft. So if Phil came up with this idea, I'm going to give credit to Phil. So basically, say, for example, if it was the three of us, like say if Phil is 1, Markeem's 2, I'm 3. So basically we go through the teams and say who we think they're going to pick and why. We can do trades as well. But that is something that's going to be coming not very soon, but in a couple months, obviously, right before the draft. But that's just something I wanted to get you guys excited about. And now back to Markeem and some Kyle Pitts talk.
I think he could be good. I'll just say that.
Okay.
A couple things have to happen though.
Is he ranked too high? Because I've seen him I've even seen him top 5.
Phil, man, I don't want to get into this, man.
All right, we'll hold it. No, save it. We're teasing it. No, don't tell me. That's enough. All right. These questions I'm asking, guys, come back for the answers.
I'll just say this. He's a very interesting prospect. Let's put it like that. Interesting. Because a couple things have to happen. I'll just say that. Let me tell you,
you do not want to miss our draft. Like, I just think this is going to be so awesome.
Oh, it's going to be great. The full slate will be released on a later date, but so far as you know, the three of us will be here. Just trying to think of like other things to address, because here's the thing I love about the NFL, and also too, I think I talked to Phil about this, but also I want to get Markeem's opinion on this. I said a few weeks ago that I think the NFL, they're not going to do this. They should hold off hiring head coaches till after the Super Bowl. Because think about what's going on right now. We hear about trades and stuff. They may fall through though because they don't become official till the official league year. So what if all like the last 2 weeks or so was just spent on new coaching hires, coaching searches? Like each day you have a new domino fall of a new head coach, as opposed to, hey, here's a head coaching hire. Oh, and then tomorrow's a divisional round. Like it kind of gets lost swept under the rug, if you will.
Hey, Griff, you're good at this, man. I never thought about that.
I've gotten better.
I never thought about that. That's actually a good idea. It's actually a really good idea.
But yeah, so yeah. Go ahead.
We also have another question coming in. Asked again, how did you feel about the Super Bowl this year? We actually already addressed this. Yeah. Markeem didn't like it. Phil and I were Patriots fans that are happy for Tom. Fun fact, the Super Bowl had a higher viewership in Boston than Tampa Bay. I'm not even kidding.
I don't think Tampa Bay
they never cares. Look, that's the most underrated thing about the whole Brady thing. I really wish we would have had crowds, man, because like they don't support the Buccaneers, man. They didn't support them in the mid 2000s. They don't support that team.
No.
They don't.
You know what's? I have some fun facts about the Buccaneers' 2 Super Bowl wins, though.
They both lost.
Both halftime shows were done by Canadian artists, Shania Twain in 2003, and then The Weeknd this year. Both games were won because of their defense, but that 03 Buccaneers team is probably one of the greatest defenses of all time. John Lynch, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp.
They never get brought up either. They never get brought up. You're right.
They never get brought up. And also, too, the other difference is that was Brad Johnson. I don't know what was a worse Super Bowl match. Like, obviously, Rich Gannon was the MVP that year, but Rich Gannon and Brad Johnson, and then Kerry Collins and Trent Dilfer. In between the Brady Super Bowls, you had some obscure quarterback.
Collins and Dilfer, man. Collins, that was way worse.
Kerry Collins. Oh my God, I can't.
Because at least that season, Gannon was the MVP, and Brad Johnson was good that year.
He was good.
Kerry Collins and fucking Trent Dilfer were both terrible, and they just happened to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah. They happened to just be in the big game. I mean,
that game was the same thing though as the 2000 Super Bowl and the 2002 Super Bowl. The exact same games where it was just defensively dominated. Like the Ravens' defense dominated Kerry Collins, and then Rich Gannon got dominated by the Bucs.
Hell, Rich Gannon's career ended that night. We watched the man's career end on the biggest stage.
Wasn't that kind of the end of Jerry Rice too? I mean, he went to Seattle, but that was pretty much
that was the last year of Jerry being Jerry. Yeah.
Exactly. This year's the last year of Drew being Drew.
Yeah.
All right. So there's something. What was the other? There was some other quarterback situation I wanted to ask somebody about, but I don't remember what.
Phil, can I say something about the Pats quarterback situation? Because I didn't get my out.
Before. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a small part of me that's starting to think that, you know what, bringing back Cam's not the worst idea in the world, but then there's a part of me too that's saying we need to move on. Just because, look, I think it has to do with the fact there was that video yesterday of that kid that was just clowning him, which, like, we all know how that went. I just loved him saying, I'm rich. And then the guy's like, no, you're not. You're free agent. It's like, no, he's rich. And then there's that I'm an Athlete podcast where he was on with, like, Ocho Cinco and Brandon Marshall. And then now, like, all these Patriot beat writers are writing stuff. Like, Doug Kayad had some articles about how people still view him as an MVP Cam. Now, can he be that again? I don't know. But at the same time, too, can he help recruit?
No, he can't. Play? I even say he can't be MVP Cam. That's not what I'm saying. But he needs, if with the right weapons, he would probably get overratedly MVP, if that makes sense.
Before he got hurt in 2018, the Panthers were 6-2, and then they had that game where they got their just humiliated in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, don't get me wrong when I say all this stuff about Cam. I don't think his arm can ever get back to that where it's at, but I do think with a full offseason, it can get good enough. Like, I'm not saying that Cam's our future. Like, I think Cam's still going to be like a year by year basis kind of thing. But like,
I don't want that. Though.
I get that.
I don't want a year by year commitment thing. I want someone who's going to sign at least for 3 years.
Y'all have been spoiled for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a consistent situation. You know what I mean? Now I love seeing this because y'all don't know how it is to live quarterback to quarterback.
Let me say this. All right. So, look, I don't personally think there's some people. I mean, I am still in the back of my mind hoping maybe he is the answer. I don't think he is. But Jarrett Stidham, I mean, a lot of people might still think, well, y'all aren't going to – why don't we just see what Jarrett Stidham has? I'm like, yeah, but I think if that was the case, we would have already done that. Wouldn't we already done that? I think he would have just never even signed Cam if it was about, like, oh, I believe in Jarrett Stidham. Bill don't believe in Jarrett Stidham.
Bill, we know what Stidham has, man.
I know.
Nothing. Yeah, we know what –
we know he's terrible.
I don't have any faith in him anymore. That's why I think they were comfortable with Stidham, and then I think Bill kind of realized, hey, I don't know exactly. That's why they brought in Cam in the first place. But there's 2 Patriot things I wanted to bring up to Phil. One is I've been reading this book by Jeff Benedict called The Dynasty. You need to get it.
Oh, I heard about it.
It is a great read. I'm not even – so it takes about 200 pages before you get to, like, their first Super Bowl. It's a lot about the history of, like, Kraft buying the team and whatnot. It goes back to, like, the 1960s. I've tweeted about it. Very good book. If you were a Patriots fan listening to this podcast, go read that bock.
Isn't that book the one that like they couldn't get Bill or Brady involved in or something like that?
No, like they have stuff that Tom said or whatnot, but a lot of it there was some stuff that was mentioned. Like it began with Tom in 2019 in the press box the day before the season opener, basically, where he was kind of already starting to contemplate whether he was going to stay or go. And then it kind of goes back in time. So where it goes back where how Kraft built up his empire outside of football and then eventually got all his assets and then paid all that money for the Patriots. And then kind of the start of the whole rough and tumble years of Bill Parcells and then the Pete Carroll era. And then how he went out of his way to get Bill Belichick. That's where I'm at so far. Like where I'm at right now is leading up to that first Super Bowl 36.
And what did they say about Bledsoe in that book? I'm curious.
Kraft loved him. It was just Belichick preferred Brady.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was. Like Robert Kraft,
it was pretty obvious. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah. Like Robert Kraft had a great relationship with Drew Bledsoe. He loved him like a son, but then Tom came in and played for him. Belichick didn't want to go back to Bledsoe. The only time he went back to him was the 2001 AFC Championship game.
And that was for like a couple downs. He wasn't even in it the whole game.
Exactly. The other one too, Phil, is there is one receiver target I would like to see the Patriots. I'm actually not saying not yet, but there's one I could be interested in. And I'm not going to say who he is. I'm going to give you a clue. As long as he turns off TikTok when he enters a team facility, I don't care what he does on the field.
Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm fine with that too. I like him actually. I'm kind of high on Juju Smith-Schuster, so I'm down for that. But I'm also down for not as a number one guy, obviously, but I'm also down for my boy Alshon Jeffrey coming to revive his career in New England. Let's do it.
I don't know though. He had that one good season with the Eagles in 2017. Markeem can vouch for this, but then his numbers have been down ever since.
Alshon Jeffrey at one time, Markeem can mark for this, was
I thought he was incredible. Like when he was playing for the Bears, he was incredible.
He was supposed to be like the best receiver to ever come out of Carolina. Would you still say he is that? I don't know if I'd say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Hold on. Coming into the draft?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Not even close. Yeah.
I mean, successful after that. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say I think Debo's starting to But Alshon started off good too, so we'll see how Debo holds up. So
there's another kid this year too who looks pretty good for South Carolina as well. The receiver.
Receiving? No.
Yeah.
It's cornerback.
No, there's another. I'm pretty sure there's a receiver in the draft for South Carolina. I think he'll go day 2 or something like that, but we'll see. Let's see.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
I gotta figure out his name. Give me a quick second. I'm just gonna vamp right now and Google South Carolina wide receiver.
I don't think there's. I didn't know even running back of our receiver that's coming out of the draft, but I could be wrong. Could be drawing a blank. That's crazy if that Miguel would remember me and you don't. It's not Miguel. Where did I get Miguel from?
I mean, I don't know. That was last year. Never mind. The first player, I forget who his name is. I think he's a cornerback. I think that's my fuck up.
Jason Horn. Jason Horn is a cornerback.
I'm going to address this one right now. Absolutely not to both.
No to both. No to both. I like Jacoby. Great for the Patriots, but he is not a starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Can we stop this? That's like the Andy Dalton to New England stuff.
He needs to He's trying. He's been a Dolphin. He's been a Jet.
You know what I forgot about?
What did you forget about?
Y'all know who I forgot about?
Who?
I'm looking at the list of the top 10 South Carolina receivers of all time. I forgot about Sterling Sharp.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Sidney Rice.
Yeah, that Sterling Sharp is I forgot about him.
Yeah.
If Sterling Sharp didn't hurt his neck, he'd be like Chris Carter, Michael Irvin. Like that's how good he was.
Sidney Rice was coming out of in Carolina was really big too.
Yeah, he was good too.
He didn't pan out in the NFL as much, but
who's the worst football player of all time?
Worst football player of all time, Jamarcus Russell.
I was about to say that
or Johnny Football.
No, I think Johnny Football is good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, but hold on. Hold on. Okay. What are our requirements? Worst football player of all time?
I can tell you right now. It's Tim Couch. It's Tim Couch. It's Tim Couch. It's Tim Couch.
Wait, Markeem. You mean former number 1 overall Tim Couch?
Yeah.
He was that bad at football?
He was terrible.
No, we're talking about worst football player to ever play in the NFL that was like high. Like we're talking about most overrated football player, I assume, right?
I mean, but he was really bad, Phil.
Well,
you know what? No. Nathan Peterman. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Or you could have said Logan Thomas, but now he's a tight end, so I guess you can't say that.
Well, hey, he's not a bad tight end.
No. Markeem, here you go. Are you ready for this name? You might want to strap in, like put your seatbelt in and everything, because we haven't said this name in a while. EJ Manuel. Funny enough, two of those were Bills quarterbacks, so that's funny.
He had some good games though. Like Nathan Peterman never had a good game.
You ain't wrong.
Like never. So yeah, I think it has to be Peterman.
Yeah, you're not
the
wrong.
Peter man.
The Peter man. Or he's there's not laundry. Matt, welcome, Matt.
Yeah, welcome. Man,
I'm back, guys. Basically, what was going on was I had to switch my phone. My phone was doing hotspot for a while, and then I just switched back to Wi-Fi because my phone's about to die.
You're good.
So who else have we said for worst player of all time? Like I said, Trent Richardson, Tim Couch is another one. I called Jamarcus Russell lazy more than like worst.
He also went to an organization.
He just never should have been the number one pick.
No,
it never should happen. That's all.
Oh, Markeem, I have a fun fact, actually. I told Joe this last week. I have a fun fact for the two of you. In 2004, 2005, and 2007, the player that the Raiders drafted, the player after that is either going into the Hall of Fame or will be in the Hall of Fame. In 2004, after they picked, it was Larry Fitzgerald. In 2005, after the Raiders picked, Aaron Rodgers was drafted to the Packers. And in 2007, Megatron.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
Hey, and
how do you strike out 3 times like that?
I have two names that explains all of that. Al Davis. You're done. That's all you need.
Yeah.
He lost it. He lost it.
Look,
he did have it.
Listen, though.
I know what you're about to say.
As much as we can get on him, he was a crazy old man at the time. I feel uncomfortable disrespecting him because he's the most important owner in NFL history.
Oh, 100%.
I can't.
Can I say something quickly about the Raiders, though?
Vince McMahon is one of the most important people in wrestling history, but that don't mean he ain't an idiot now.
Yeah, but Al Davis was always just like ZFG kind of attitude.
Al Davis said, "Best just win."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just win, baby. Al Davis didn't care. He was just cocky and wanted to do his own way. The one thing I actually want, I've never touched upon this before since it was announced, but I was shocked when I discovered that Tom Flores was not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame yet.
Hey, man, you want to just talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame in general?
Yeah, let's do it.
This shit is terrible, man.
Dude, it's a fucking popularity contest at this point.
It's that simple. It's just, if they like you, they'll vote you in. Not if you deserve it. It's ridiculous, man.
Like, Eli's getting in because brother and father are going to be campaigning on his behalf. Because Eli Manning, after that second Giant Super Bowl, his numbers are not Hall of Fame worthy. But because he's got 2 rings,
his numbers weren't Hall of Fame worthy before the first one.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There was like that little run in the middle where he was good. You know what I mean?
Like this year's class, though, like there are certain people I agree with. Like obviously Peyton Manning, obviously Charles Woodson. But if you did, I feel like the Pro Football Hall of Fame and Andre the Giant, I mean David Baker, they go out of they make it about a weekend because the Pro Football Hall of Fame's in Canton, Ohio. Like who's ever screams like, yeah, I want to go to Canton on a vacation. Like I obviously want to go one day to see the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but that's the thing. You're paying to see the museum. It's just the Pro Football Hall of Fame's just like on top of it.
Why is it in Canton?
That's where pro football started.
Oh, yeah, that's where pro football was invented.
Yeah,
I should probably have known that.
Like,
I probably did know that.
The weird one though is that I think college football was started. The first ever game was played in Rutgers, but the pro football their Hall of Fame's in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I just find that a very interesting city. Like, I get it's big and they hold the SEC championship game every year. That's just something that very interests me, if you will. But with this year's class, though, like, I do think Richard Seymour should have gotten in. I was a little upset at that. But there's
I'm not that mad at that because he's one of those bubble dudes, man.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, he's gonna get it.
Like the weird thing about him is that his dominant period was very dominant.
Yeah,
but it wasn't very long.
Like Rodney Harrison almost.
Yeah. But Rodney, the weird thing about Rodney is that at least Rodney was like good. Like Seymour's fall was quick. Like it happened quick. Yeah, as soon as he left y'all.
Richard Seymour was one of those ones where Bill couldn't have gotten it more right at the exact right time. Yeah. When he traded him, I remember being like, "What are you doing?"
And then it was over.
And then it was literally he died in Oakland. Like that was it.
Similar things happening to Trent Brown right now in Oakland. Vegas, excuse me. What was the other player I was going to say? Alan Faneca is another one I like. Probably one of the best. I think he was a guard, one of the best offensive linemen of all time.
Is it Clay Matthews? Clay Matthews Sr. didn't get in either, right?
No, it was his last year or two. That's the thing too. Like, there's so many guys.
Last year.
Apparently, it was his last year of not the most recent Clay Matthews, but his dad or
senior. No, I know it's a senior, but I'm saying
senior. I'm pretty sure this was.
He can't get in now. That's stupid. That's another stupid thing.
I think he has to wait like a certain amount of time.
Oh, he has to wait?
Back on. Something like that. Something like that.
Like, look at Tom Flores. Tom Flores is very old. Like, he's in his 80s. Like, Drew Pearson, for example, is another one. Like, there's other names, too, that should be in, like, an Otis Anderson or a Phil Simms even.
No, not Phil Simms. We can do this for a while. Though. Phil Simms' career was average. He just has, like, that Super Bowl performance.
Doesn't he have two?
Well, yeah, but he wasn't even a starter for one of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
He got hurt.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to tell you guys. There's I think there's 3 franchises. One I'm bumbling on, but there's 2 that I know, at least 2 that have 3 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks on them, and one of them is the Giants. Eli, Phil Simms, and who's the other guy? Jamie something.
I don't know his name. It's not important.
Yeah, and the Packers is the same thing too as Starr, Favre, and Rodgers. It's just fun fact football trivia I like to bring up. But no, I personally I've even heard stories now. That's one thing I got to say.
Wait. Who's the third franchise?
What?
I'm gonna look this up. Because
I know it's. I think it's 3. I want to say it's 3.
Third franchise for what?
Where 3 quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl for them.
Denver? Is it Denver?
No, they only had Manning and Eli.
LA was the first one. I thought there might have been one before that.
I could be wrong. Maybe there isn't 3. Maybe I'm tripping.
That's a good question.
Maybe I'm tripping. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'm tripping. Don't worry about it.
I remember hearing about this originally. Like, there was I think there is a third franchise where they do have more than one. They do have 3 quarterbacks with Super Bowl wins. I know the Giants are one. I know the.
What about Dallas? Roger Staubach
and Aikman.
There's Aikman. That's it.
Oh, this is 2. Dang. Should have been 3.
The Packers, the Giants, and there's one other one.
God, it wasn't though. I guess
it's not the Bears.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not the Steelers either.
No, yeah, they just have 2.
Yeah, which I gotta say that if Terry Bradshaw was playing the social media, say social media was the thing in the 70s, Terry Bradshaw would have been out of the league so quickly.
Hey, he would have canceled quick.
That's the thing too. Like, if you look at his stat lines for his first 2 years, he was terrible.
Bradshaw was an idiot too. He's an idiot.
Man, he says some quirky stuff, but he's honestly, I like him as an analyst.
Oh,
he's hilarious.
He's a funny guy now. Yeah, you need.
I don't realize how long he's been with Fox for.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Also, dude, it's not.
I'll think of who that last franchise is. We'll figure it out before the end of this.
It's not the Niners.
No.
How's it not? Oh yeah,
Montana and Young.
Just Young and Montana. That's it.
All right, hold on. While y'all, hold on. Let's see.
It may be Kansas City.
Maybe there is just 2.
It may be Kansas City.
Kansas City.
No, they just have.
They didn't win with Montana.
Oh, but they had Lynn Dawson and then.
Yeah, Lynn Dawson and Mahomes. That's it. I think that might be it, man.
This is a stump. This is I really opened Pandora's box with this question.
I think there may just be 2.
Is it Oakland? Is it Oakland? It might be Oakland.
It may be. It may be.
Oakland won. Let's
Stabler.
See. They won in 11, and they won Super Bowl 11. Then they won Super Bowl 50. It's got to be Oakland. Wait, no, they didn't win another one though. Never mind. So no, it can't be them. They only won 2.
You also can count the Vegas Raiders, though, Phil.
Vegas Raiders haven't been to a Super Bowl yet.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying.
I think we're overthinking this. I think it might just be them.
Yeah. Oh no, there's the Los Angeles Raiders too. I didn't see them.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like the Raiders have. Now the Raiders have. Let's see. They have 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but
where
Stabler was quarterback for 1.
Yeah, they had the 19. Yeah, they had Stabler. They had Jim Plunkett, and then in 1983, they had.
That's Plunkett again, isn't it? Plunkett twice, right? I thought.
Yeah, it is Plunkett. Never the Super Bowl against the football team. So you know what? I think we're overthinking this. I opened a box and I'm trying to close it because it's just something that crept into my mind that like who could it have been? Like if there was a third team, I heard it on Pro Football Talk, but I think it's just the Giants and the Packers. But also, Phil, actually, there's a YouTube channel I want to tell you guys about called NFL Throwback, and who are the? I want to ask Phil this because I think Markeem may know the answer. We'll see if he doesn't or not. He can answer this. Who are the two NFL franchises, like the oldest NFL franchises?
Oldest?
Yeah.
Isn't Cleveland one of them?
Either.
Isn't Cleveland one of them?
Nope.
Oldest franchises.
I'll give you one of them. One of them is the Bears.
Oh. I don't know. I don't care.
Wait, is it the Lions? Is it the Lions?
No, I think they're third or fourth.
Okay, I would have guessed the Bears. It's not the Packers. It's not the Packers, is it?
They're third.
Yeah. Man. I'm thinking of all the – it's not the Steelers either.
Nope.
I do know that. Don't tell me. I'm going to figure this out.
All right.
Well, technically the answer – oh, that's not – I guess that's not. Yeah.
Oh, shit, man.
I would never guess this. I would have never guessed this.
Oh, shit.
I just looked it up. Technically, by the way, this is not the answer. But the Green Bay Packers are the oldest NFL franchise with continuous operation in the same location.
Yes, because the Chicago Bears were once known as the Decatur Staleys. That's fun trivia for you folks when you get to play trivia, whether it's on Zoom or safely after this effing pandemic's over.
Is it the Colts?
No.
You're
never gonna guess this, Markeem. I just looked it up. You're never gonna. I would have never.
It can't be the Bengals. Is it the Bengals?
Nope.
Yeah, who is it?
It's the Arizona Cardinals. Right.
Yep, they started off as the Chicago Cardinals, and then they moved to St. Louis. And then they moved to Phoenix. They were known as the Phoenix Cardinals in the late '80s and early '90s, and then they switched to Arizona because they played their, I think, first 15 years in at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
Chicago had two teams. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
fuck.
Just a little fun football trivia. See, I'm really good at stumping your mind right now. Let's see this question right here. Who has the best quarterback in their team? I'm trying to realize. There's another question she said of their team. So, like, I'm trying to figure out what exactly this question means. I'm gonna put the other one up.
Maybe like who's like each team's best quarterback. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, because let's see.
I think there's too many obvious answers for this.
There's a lot. Like
every team around the league. That'd be fun, but I have to really think about it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, going back to teams earlier for Steelers, would you say Bradshaw or would you say Ben?
Easily Ben. Not even close. Come on, man. Come on, Griff.
All right, cool. On, man. I have to ask the questions. It's my host. That's my host. I gotta ask
you had one guy that was bad and just won 4 Super Bowls, like actively not good, and then the other guy who's just not good now, but was like MVP type. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, like I'm just looking back at all the franchise's best quarterbacks. Like, Ben is Pittsburgh. Obviously, New England is top.
Cowboys is Romo.
No, it's not.
Roger Staubach fans won't like me. I don't know nothing about Roger Staubach, so I'll gladly admit that. But
I think you're going to get those Cowboy fans who are older will say Staubach, but you're going to get the Cowboy fans that are probably right now 30s to 50s who will say Aikman.
Romo was better than Aikman.
You might get shot if you say that to the right person. You might get beat up, man.
Romo was better than Aikman. I'll stand by that.
I think he was too.
Markeem, best Eagles quarterback of all time.
Donovan McNabb.
McNabb or Cunningham.
Well, Cunningham, but it can't be close, dude. McNabb did so much for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go McNabb, but I can see someone saying Cunningham.
Yeah. Giants. Would you say Phil Simms? Would you say Eli Manning?
It's Eli.
It has to be Eli. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's Eli.
Oh, Broncos. I'm gonna go John Elway.
Of course.
Peyton Manning.
Oh, stop it! No, he's the Colts. Peyton Manning.
Oh,
Bears.
Johnny Unitas, what are you doing?
Nah.
I'm trolling.
And you know what? I can see someone saying that, but like I'd have to go with Manning just because Manning played there longer, and his career was more expensive. You got to
greatest Bucks quarterback of all time.
Greatest Bucks quarterback of all time?
Is it Brady after 1 year?
It might be. It might be. It might be.
It's Vinny Testaverde. How could you get that wrong?
No, hell no.
It's Josh Freeman. No,
it for real might be Tom Brady though.
Yeah,
I think one more year would probably solidify that. Probably.
What about the Atlanta Falcons?
Mike Vick.
Oh, that's hard.
Right?
See, now I think Matt Ryan was better, man. I think it's Matt Ryan.
Mike Vick never got to a Super Bowl, but I mean that's a team thing. But like skill wise,
Mike Vick's the same thing though.
Ryan's better. Ryan's played better.
Did Vic win the MVP? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, he never won an MVP. He came in second with us when he was playing with us. Came in second.
I know he was on the cover. Do you think Vic's career would have been different if it weren't like the same thing? Aaron Hernandez, obviously the off-field stuff. If Vic didn't get involved in dogfighting and stuff, do you think he could have probably been a lifelong Falcon?
No, because he still would have got hurt.
Yeah.
That would have happened. That was coming.
Yep.
He broke his leg one time already. He was injury prone.
Yeah, he won. He only won. He's a Heisman finalist, and he won comeback player of the year in 2010.
Markeem, I don't think injury prone. I think for his type of quarterback, I don't think that's the right way to say it because I think Vic was just the way his style was. It just wasn't going to hold up. Like he was injury prone. Like he was blow on him and he'd get hurt. He was injury prone. Even with him being the runner he got hurt a lot. He got hurt for us back in the day with Virginia Tech. He got hurt for us twice. I'm not gonna give him that, man.
I have two teams I want to give you in the North actually for quarterbacks. Is Matt Stafford the best Lions quarterback of all time?
Yeah,
Joey Harrington.
Well, hold on. No, maybe not.
Dan Orlovsky.
Hell no.
Joey Harrington was better than Dan Orlovsky.
What about the Chicago Bears?
Oh, that's my guy. Yeah, that's Luckman. Absolutely.
Rex Grossman.
Oh, that's definitely Luckman.
Minnesota Vikings is Dante Culpepper.
Brett Favre.
Hey, wait. What'd you just say, Griff?
I was just fucking with you. I said Dante Culpepper is the best Vikings quarterback, but obviously it's Fran Tarkenton.
I was about to say, what the hell just happened? Like, what just? My brain melted just now.
Yeah. I don't want to ask a question of who we think it is because obviously with Buffalo it's Jim Kelly, but could Josh Allen maybe surpass him one day and become the best Bills quarterback of all time?
Yeah, Jim Kelly only played there for 10 years. Absolutely.
Didn't he play 4 straight Super Bowls though?
Yeah, but I don't see how he couldn't. If he keeps getting better, he's young, man.
Bro, I still think about that. I gotta add. I need to know a prime Bills fan that lived through that, and I just want to know how they made it.
I remember the tail end, and I remember my first memory of ever watching football ever was the comeback, the Oilers and our Bills. Yeah, when the game seemed over, I was watching it with one of my cousins, and it seemed over. We were doing other shit, and then he got a call from one of his friends. He basically pushed me down. I remember I think I was like 3 or 4. I remember this like vividly. He pushed me down. I fell and I cried and all that shit. So he can cut back on the game to see the end because they came back.
Wow.
This is like, yo, if you watch the what's the name? Remember that little show they had, the NFL Greatest Games?
Yeah.
The players stuff. It's unbelievable hearing them talk about that. Warren Moon, he said that on the sideline they were talking about what they were going to eat after the game. He was like, "Yeah, man, we're going to the steakhouse. Let's go get a prime rib." You know what I mean? He was like, he had plans, man. You know what I mean?
And Frank Wright was like, "Yeah, no, we're putting those on hold."
Yeah, nah, not at all.
Would you say, like, obviously, the Oilers were the Titans. Would you say Warren Moon was their best quarterback if you're combining the two, or would you say McNair?
McNair was.
That's tough because Moon had the better numbers, but I think if you ask most of those fans, they would tell you McNair. I think because of what he meant. I think he meant more to that team than Moon did, but Moon was probably better. I mean, you could make the argument that Warren Moon is the most prolific professional QB of all time because if you combine
Testaverde,
you said what?
Not Vinny Testaverde?
No, but if you combine what he did in the CFL and the NFL, He has like almost 80,000 yards.
Where did Warren Moon go to college?
Oh, that's a very good question. You put me on the spot, Phil, because I don't know. I don't know.
That right now.
I'm usually good with that shit. I don't know. Ah, man, hold on, tell me.
Hold on, yeah, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I'm not gonna cheat. All right, give me a hint. Is it
right, hold on. I'll give you a hint. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I got it. You're gonna butcher.
Is it Power 5?
Power 5. It is. Yes, it is Power 5. Barely.
That's a pretty big hint, Phil.
Well, I mean,
man, I don't know. You got nothing.
All right, we just talked about a quarterback that went to this college on one of the current teams that just got a new quarterback. That was a lot.
What?
Yeah, that was a lot. A quarterback was traded to a team who has a quarterback that played for the same college.
Oh, he went to Cal or something?
Close.
So he's in the Pac-12. I'm in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he went to Washington.
Washington,
right?
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay, yeah. I see him in the jersey now. Yeah. Okay.
Warren went to Washington.
I have a hot take about the Pac-12. I don't think the football's bad. I think it's just like when it comes to all the Power 5s, it's like the one that always gets overlooked.
Wait, he played 5 years in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good God.
And was dominant there.
How bad was he in college?
I'm not 100% sure.
Man,
I mean, he had to be bad.
Dude,
what?
The Toronto Argonauts have made 3 NFL-level signings in the last few weeks. They got Martavis Bryant now, Shane Ray, and today Coney Ely.
I know. I'm just saying, how do you play 5 years in
high
Canada?
draft picks.
I gotta get you guys on the CFL, dude. It's like the football's a little different. That's what I played when I was in high school. It's very different, but going to the games is fun. It's like I'll go because my uncles are huge diehard CFL fans, Toronto Argonauts, and you go to the games, you're allowed to tailgate in the parking lots and stuff, and it's a fun time. Like the football obviously is not as good as NFL, but it's still enjoyable to go and watch.
Hell, man, Doug Flutie, legend.
Yeah. Dang, he went unselected in a 12-round draft? Jesus.
Dude, a lot of guys have to go to the CFL to prove themselves. Like, look at Alex Singleton right now for your Eagles, Markeem.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. He did come from the CFL.
Yeah, he was a Calgary Stampeder.
Yeah, this is a good ass question, man. Who else? What's some of the other teams? Washington is probably the toughest, right? Would you say Theismann? It had to be Theismann, right?
Him or Williams.
Doug. Okay, I love Doug Williams as a black man. He's very important. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but aside from that Super Bowl run and a couple moments here and there, I mean, I can't. It has to be Theismann. It has to be, man.
Doug
Williams is
Raiders. Would you go Plunkett or Stabler?
Stabler.
What the? Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah.
Randy Orton just blew up black stuff apparently on Raw tonight.
Jesus Christ!
We're here to talk football, not wrestling.
I'm sorry, I just saw it on Twitter.
Jets and Dolphins are obvious.
Yeah, Brian Greasy. Well,
yeah, Tyler Thigpen.
Bob Greasy. My bad. I'm joking. By the way, it's Dan Marino.
It's Tyler
and Joe Namath. Brian Greasy is a commentator. He is terrible.
Tyler Thigpen.
Brian Greasy is so bad as an NFL commentator.
Pretty bad. But yeah, the Jets, although I think Joe Namath is the most overrated quarterback in the history of the league.
One of the most famous sound bites in NFL history, though.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Not his incident with Susie Colbert in 2003, but him sitting poolside guaranteeing the media that they were going to beat the Colts.
Which was insane when you think about it, because they were such heavy underdogs.
Yeah.
Nope. People thought they shouldn't have been on the same field. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rams, Kurt Warner.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to.
Would you say him for the Arizona Cardinals too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna say? Jake Plummer? Like, come on.
Matt Leinart.
Exactly.
Seattle.
Leinart.
Where we put Russell Wilson for Seattle?
Ooh.
Did they have somebody? Who else did they have?
The Hasselbeck.
I mean, Russell Wilson is better than Hasselbeck.
Right.
Hasselbeck was there for 10 years, though.
He also made one of the dumbest guarantees in playoff history by saying, "Oh, we're going to win. We're going to score." And then they throw a fucking pick six against Green Bay.
Oh yeah, the coin flip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. We're gonna win. Yeah, he said we're gonna take the ball. We're gonna score.
Yeah, and he throws a pick six.
Oh man.
Let's see what other teams there are in the West. So let's see. We have Seattle, Arizona, San Francisco.
All right. Okay.
We'll get spicy.
The obvious take is Joe Montana, right? That's the obvious take. Now, I'm going with Montana, but you can legit make an argument for Young.
Oh, 100%.
Like you absolutely like he was more efficient than Montana. It's just that simple. He was way more efficient.
I'm not saying nothing.
Other teams I'm trying to think of. Like,
and then the wild thing, before Peyton Manning came along, Steve Young was the most efficient quarterback in NFL history. Peyton Manning came along and kind of shattered all his records, but yeah, he was efficient as hell, man. He had that record for QB rating. People thought would never be broke.
Let's see who else. Saints. I'd probably go Drew Brees.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Archie Manning.
What about the Panthers?
Panthers? It's Jake Delhomme. It's not even close. I'm sorry, it's Jake Delhomme.
Yeah, you might. Well, I don't know, man.
Well, I said not even close. Cam Newton does lead in every stat, but Jake Delhomme, I don't know, man. That was maybe it is Cam. I
feel like Cam's high was higher than Delhomme, so I have to go with Cam.
Yeah. Jacksonville, probably Mark Burnell.
Oh, screw him.
Well, I don't know. Boy, about Byron Leftwich, man.
David Garrard.
The boat, Blake Bortles.
The boat.
Would you say with Houston? Houston's a tricky one.
Oh, you gotta go to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Because if we're counting the Titans and Oilers together, you know what I mean? You gotta go to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
You can't say David
David
or Matt Shaw.
Matt Laundrie's Matt Shaw. Welcome, Matt. Whatever his name is.
Man, I honestly was when Matt Shaw may have been one of the most under the radar QBs ever. Like he just fucked off to Atlanta, and then he was their backup for like a long time. And then this year out of nowhere, it's he retired, and I had to do a double take and realize like shit, he's been in the league that long.
Yeah, the kid would love to hear you say that. He's a big fan of Shaw.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I hate Shaw.
Dude, Houston was on that team where it's like they always just get to the playoffs, and then they just like pissed it away.
I hate Shaw because of that year where he beat my Hokies, man. I never forgive him for that.
Where did he go to school?
He went to Virginia.
Oh, okay. Fuck, Cavaliers are still. Oh, that's right. The Cavaliers are. Man, the ACC is such a weird conference with football. Like, there's all these teams that just like pop up that are good, and then they like kind of go away, and then they'll come back.
Yeah. It used to be where it was Florida State consistently, and then some other team would challenge them, and it disappeared.
Like how in the 90s it was the U, and then the U disappeared.
Well, Miami was in the Big East then.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize I thought that Big East was only a thing for basketball. I guess I have to do some research.
Big East football. Virginia Tech was there too.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Pitt.
Just gonna think of anything else. You guys have anything else you guys want to touch on for tonight? I think we covered a lot of stuff.
I think that's it.
Ooh. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for all the questions. Shout outs to Cody Lancaster, Mizelle Martinez, and always Randy Osga, Markeem, Phil. Guys, it was a pleasure having you guys on. We'll have to do this again very soon. I need you guys back for free agency. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that, even if it is during wrestling. But anyway, guys,
what's on, man.
You know what? Thanks to everyone for coming on, for answering questions. Hopefully we can get more people to the next live stream, hopefully with less technical issues. Sorry about that once again. But anyway, guys, we will see you next time on YWC Football Talk. Have a good night.